so sick that they just don't survive it. Well, now there is a new treatment that is showing big promise, and one local animal hospital is doing its own study on its effectiveness. This very energetic 4-month-old pup named Zues has healed the hearts of Constance and Kim Kovacs. They adopted him a few weeks after they lost their boy Logan.
Hey, come here.
As soon as they saw Zues at a local shelter, they were hooked.
Healthy, happy, and we fell in love with him. So we said, okay, he's coming home with us.
But just 3 days later, this guy got really sick, so they took him to the emergency room at CARE in Charlotte.
They said if we hadn't brought him in that night, he wouldn't have made it through the night. He was so sick.
Zues had parvo, a viral infection that attacks the intestinal cells in dogs.
It can be pretty severe for some dogs, and many dogs can die of sepsis from it.
Dogs who are not properly vaccinated against it can pick it up in the environment from what's left behind by other dogs who have had it.
For a long time, it seemed like springtime was the time that we saw a lot of parvovirus. Now we see it year-round.
Not only that, they say dogs are getting sicker and sicker when they do contract it. But now there's a new treatment.
It's a single antibody injection given at the time of diagnosis, and there have been some, while limited, very promising studies that show that a lot of dogs will make it through with this injection.
It's a treatment so new that the team at CARE is doing its own small study.
Because the data is so limited in numbers right now, we've decided to carry it and keep track of our own in-house information. How many dogs that we give it to are living? Does it seem to make a difference in how long they're hospitalized before they start to feel better? Keeping track of a lot of the different things. How sick was the dog when he was diagnosed? Were they still eating? Were their white blood cell counts normal? All of that information we're keeping track of here. I will say that we have treated 4 dogs with it here so far, and all of the dogs that we've treated with it have lived.
The Kovacs say it cost nearly $10,000 to treat Zues.
They said most people cannot afford to keep going with the treatments.
Like many pet parents will understand, they were willing to spend as much as they had to.
It was touch and go for the first 3 days.
Can you shake hands?
But by day 5 or 6,
Hey,
Zues started to bounce back, and now you see,
what you doing?
there's nothing stopping him.
Hi. Sis.
Yeah, you never would have known he was so sick.
No.
He was a sweet boy. It was nice to meet all of the people involved in that story. But it is expensive, and CARE acknowledges that. They're like, this is new. It's very, very expensive. I did reach out to our friends at CMPD Animal Care and Control just to find out about testing for parvo in shelters, just sort of in general. They said they can speak specifically to what they do. They don't test every dog that comes in for parvo. It would be way too expensive. But they do test if they start to see some signs.
Okay.
Again, prevention is the best medicine. So the experts say, just make sure if you have a dog, if you have a puppy, get the vaccines when you're supposed to get them, and that should help. It should take care of parvo.
And but you see what that treatment does, like you said, you never would have known. And if a doctor looks at you and it's like, hey, we have this, and they could be completely fine, it's no wonder, they wanted to keep going, because that's what you want to see, is your dog running right to you.
Yeah, that family started a GoFundMe for their situation, but they said they'll keep it going so that if other people have something like that, they'll, which I thought was kind of nice.
That's incredible.